The whole concept of blending really boils down to the idea of multiple connections. And instead of having kind of an active passive configuration like you would have with failover, you're more following like an active configuration with your networks. So, we could have 4G, 5G cellular, we could have LEO, MEO, geo satellite. Dejero is sort of agnostic to whatever the connection is. As long as it's an IP based protocol, we can include it in our blend. If there's even fiber optic cable at the site and we're a secondary or tertiary connection, we can include that in our blending algorithm. Now, one of the things that sort of separates us apart is we take that network traffic and we break it down into smaller packets. We're monitoring the quality of service of each of those packets of information as it traverses across the network to the millisecond level of resolution. So we can be very dynamic in responses to shifts in network stability. What that really means at the end of the day is if Bell or Rogers network starts to degrade in a certain area, within a millisecond of resolution, we're shifting network traffic then on to one of the other connections that gives us a higher quality of service. So the idea is that if Rogers has that, nationwide network outage back in 2022 that you were referring to, Wesley, we immediately shift that network traffic up to maintain session persistence, high availability, and uptime with our network connections, regardless of what you're using. So from a utility perspective, that's super beneficial when you're talking about running SCADA network traffic. You're talking about voltage, current, power consumption, on off status of different key elements that you might have at a substation. Well, that's not network traffic that you want to lose visibility of. You want to have real-time understanding of what your grid is doing, especially as it responds to requirements for dynamic energy response within the grid. Certainly we're seeing that with the AI space. A lot of these data centers are coming online and requiring more energy. You want to make sure that that energy is sort of split through the grid so that you're providing just as much energy to those data centers as you are to the hospitals and the other key critical infrastructure that we have, in our society.